You're listening to the Mobcast Network.
All right, so hi, everyone. We are the Catacombs. We are a deep-cut cult movie podcast that is a sister show to the Cult Movie Cantina, which we did yesterday. I am your Native American pop culture spirit guide, Scotty, and I'm joined by my co-hosts.
Drew. I don't have a cool...
Co-host is your cool.
Yeah, I'm co-host.
You're
and I'll do the voice. It's co-host.
Co-host. Speak up louder. They got to hear you in the back.
I can't do that voice loud. Like, it's as loud as... It's like co-host.
Co-host!
If I yell, it's like co-host.
See, that's what we want.
Nah, that sounds grumpy. It does. It's a little... Ooh-ah! Uh-oh.
Ooh-ah.
Tom Berenger's back,
Tom
baby.
Berenger back.
If you guys don't know, Tom Berenger should be replaced in every movie.
That's true.
That's fair enough.
That's fair. That is fair. Are they Marines in this movie? I couldn't figure that out.
No, they should have put the Colonial Marines in and we would have had a much better movie.
We'll save that for the ending part of how we make this movie better.
I just did.
All right, so the movie we did was Jason X from 2003.
And it's called X because it's number 10.
Right. It's called Jason because they didn't have the right,
looked that up.
They didn't have the rights to do Friday the 13th. That's why it's called Jason, just
That's
like
right.
Jason Goes to Hell. Yeah,
That's right.
Right.
You got it.
Roman numerals.
And solved by our wisest man in the crowd.
All right, so we're going to listen to the trailer now.
In the year 2455, on a routine training mission, a team of students is about to discover a life form frozen in time.
They're on their way back. Prepare for docking and power up the lab.
You brought him on board?
Everything's under control, ma'am. What the hell is going on?
Jason Voorhees, that's what's going on. He's an unstoppable killing machine.
Guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back.
How do we get off the ship?
I don't know.
Look, we're gonna be all right.
What? Are you high?
Uh-oh.
He's here. You have got to get them out of there.
Hey, Slappy!
I think we're finally okay.
What the hell is that? You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, wow.
He's been modified. Oh, you think? You guys might want to run. I don't think he's out there.
Why don't you just stick your head out and have a peek?
Directed by James Isaac.
I thought you said Jason Isaacs.
I was about to. I saw Isaac. It was like that.
Pre-discovery. Jason Isaacs' career took a weird turn, but he's still in space.
Right.
So it worked out for him.
James Isaac, who is a David Cronenberg protege.
Which is amazing that David Cronenberg is in this movie.
Because he's this guy's protege. He worked on special effects on Existence.
Existence.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm just saying, Cronenberg, cyberpunk, god of cyberpunk.
I got you. Enemy Mine.
Oh, it's a delightful movie.
Yeah, Dennis Quaid.
Dentist Quaid stars in Enemy Mine.
Dennis Quaid. You can go
He
to our
pulls an
table.
alien's teeth.
Right, and you could go to our table and get Dentist Quaid
Look,
buttons.
here's the thing about Dentist Quaid that people need to realize. If you have a Dentist Quaid button, other Dentist Quaid fans will then identify you and you're part of a club. Very exclusive. 7 people have picked
Still
one
a
up.
club.
It's still a club,
Still a
though.
club.
It's still a club.
So
8 people.
8 people. 8 people are good.
So join us after the podcast.
He also worked on the special effects for Virtuosity.
That should be on the show.
We'll put it on the list.
Yeah, because the dated technology, Lawnmower Man looks like Jurassic Park compared to Virtuosity. Trust me.
Written by Tom Farmer, who's most famous for My Bloody Valentine's remake. The Messengers, which he wrote, but he got story by credit on that.
That's right.
And then Messengers 2
Electric Boogaloo
is more of his story. I listened to Best Movies Never Made?
Yeah.
And
I heard that. He was great on it.
His episode was because he was talking about Halloween 3D, which never got made.
Which, in Halloween 3D, which was a sequel to Halloween
2, Rob Zombies.
Jamie, or whoever, that's Halloween 4. Whatever the girl, and they change it to, becomes Michael Myers.
Right, yeah, Laurie Strode
passes it along. It's a really weird idea. I don't know if I...
What was the idea from 4 that they dropped?
Yeah, but they more successful.
I would like to see a 11-year-old girl start murdering people in town.
I don't know. I saw a toddler dressed as Chucky.
Right.
It was a little girl dressed as Chucky. And the kid was just walking around, blood all over, little knife in her hand.
Right.
And she never stopped smiling. It was way creepier because she was just like, just so happy and wouldn't let go of the knife. But the knife wasn't in a pointed, it was down, like she was ready to stabby.
She learned well.
No, Yeah,
right.
It was fun.
Cinematography is by Derek V. Underschultz.
Yeah. Here's the problem I have with this movie.
Yeah.
I tried to play a game of does this movie matter?
Yeah.
Nope. There's not a single person that goes on except for the robot lady that ends up in Andromeda.
Right. But here's what's interesting about him.
But that's even a question.
His cinematography career is mostly TV.
He is.
But it's mostly like TV shows based on movie. So he worked on the RoboCop TV show.
Yep.
I learned
Total Recall.
Yeah, Total Recall. I learned there was an FX TV show.
Yep.
I did not know that.
I did.
Does anyone know the movie FX? One person in the audience does. I'm glad.
Oh, you guys, that's actually a good movie.
Yeah, at least
it's a sincerely
Brian
good movie.
Dennehy's in it.
It's a good movie. It's about an
Brian
FX
Dennehy
guy that has to solve crimes. It sounds terrible when I say it out loud, but it's probably not a great movie, but maybe it's good enough.
Maybe do it on the show. Because the technology's there. You couldn't do that now. You can do like
we should do FX2.
You can do mocap
where he
guy.
has the robot.
Mocap guy.
Yeah.
Mocap guy is going to try to solve murders.
I think it.
I haven't played that yet.
I haven't either.
I know Terminator's in that, sort of.
And Batista.
Nope,
that's Gears of War.
Different
game.
All right, so movie stars Kane Hodder as Jason Voorhees.
Now, Kane Hodder is the only person that did anything with his career after this.
Okay.
Well, he went to Comic-Cons. I mean, I don't know. I'm not being mean. Like
he's just being honest. It's a steady gig. I mean,
he at least like I know his name.
Right.
Do you know anybody else's name?
No.
And if you don't know him, that's terrible. Because do you guys know who Kane Hodder is? Everybody know? No. Okay.
Kane Hodder's been Jason in 4 of the movies.
Tall guy, very nice.
7,
sweet man.
8, 9.
Plays a Jason.
Yeah,
has a cool last name. It's Hodder. It'd be cool if it was Hotter.
Hotter. Kane.
Right.
Kane Hodder.
I think the Southern kicked in there and it was like Kane Hodder.
Kane Hodder. Roll Tide. War Eagle.
We can't War Eagle on this show. I have War Eagle microphones, you son of a.
I'm colorblind, so I just gave you the one we had handy.
Great. I'm glad I'm an Alabama fan with this.
Go Blue.
No one took a picture. Oh, yeah, you got at least Michigan.
Sorry. Also starred Lexi Dung. I don't know her. I can't even pronounce.
She ended up on Andromeda too.
As Rowan. As Rowan. Lisa Ryder as KM-14.
Also on Andromeda.
Jonathan Potter as Professor Lowe.
Guest starring on Andromeda. I'm not making this up.
And Peter Minch as Sergeant Brodsky.
Nothing.
Brodsky's done something, right? He's been like
questionable meats.
He's one of those guys that are like you've seen him in something.
He's that guy.
He's
like one of those guys.
He's like a low budget Lance Reddick.
No.
Like if you couldn't afford Lance Reddick, you'd get him.
Oh yeah, okay, I'd buy it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
yeah.
Lance Reddick's like, I say no to your project.
I'd buy it.
Oh, okay, we get this other guy. We'll get Peter to do it.
I also thought he looked like Tony Todd.
Yeah, he would also be
without the voice.
Would also be a low rent,
low
budget Tony Todd.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey,
affordable
Tony
Todd.
I'm with that.
Can we make that a shirt?
So,
that might sound bad.
Are you ready to go through this thing?
Yep.
So since you haven't seen it, we're just going to walk you through this movie. The year is 2010, the year we make contact. Wait, different movie. And the U.S. government have captured the mass murderer Jason Voorhees.
Hold on. Can we just state that this comes out in 2001?
Right.
So audiences saw this in 2001, very important for later on.
Right.
Actually, 2002, technically, but go ahead.
Right. After several attempts to execute him, the government has just going to freeze him Han Solo style.
That's fact.
Except, nope. Dr. David Cronenberg has other ideas.
They're going to use him for genetic testing.
Right. He and a group of Army goons have come to take Jason to another facility where they're going to totally study him.
Because they finally answered the question, why does Jason keep coming back? He apparently can regenerate. So what we now have is Han Solo Wolverine. Right. Pre-X-Men movies, I looked it up. Han Solo Wolverine exists. See? It's back to our theme.
Right.
This movie, you're going to soon learn, this movie paved the way for so many other great films.
Great films.
I promise. Has anyone seen, what's the shooter movie? Equilibrium? Okay, so just wait for it, and I'll point out why this movie happened before Equilibrium and introduced us to Gun Kata, not Jim Kata. Very big
It's all
difference.
about katas with you.
I love the word kata.
Your
Kata
next
cheese.
child will be kata.
I'm going to invent kata cheese. The only cheese that kicks your ass. Sorry, kid.
Of course, Jason has other ideas and murders the whole lot of them, including Cronenberg. He gets stabbed in the back with a metal rod. All like, this is Sparta.
Can I just 2 seconds to talk about the opening?
Yes.
So the opening of the movie shows medieval times happening, and there's fire burning, and there's all these things, and then it slowly pulls out. Apparently, Jason, this is all in Jason's brain.
Right.
So there's literally castles on fire that are supposed to be hell
Right.
inside of Jason's brain, and the further they pull out from it, so it's little tiny castles.
Right.
We're talking like nanoparticle castles of hell in his brain, and then it just turns into blood and goo.
Right.
That's like gross.
What,
But it starts out with a castle.
right. So he's living his own holodeck dream, man. That's what he's got.
Pointed out.
He's
that
just like,
Jason has-
I'm in my castle.
I got really obsessed with that and made a huge note. I almost circled it. See, there you go. That's what it is. He's stuck in. But
I would watch.
Well,
Jason
wait a
Game of
second.
Thrones.
Burning castles from the 4th episode, whatever season that was, the last season where the castle burns down. Boom, happened in Jason X first.
Right there.
Game of Thrones, right there. They invented it. Burning castles.
It's kind of like St. Elsewhere. Jason Voorhees is a St. Elsewhere Game of Thrones.
Oh, I'd love that. I'd buy that shirt.
Pretty much every other movie.
We're
happens
actually
to-
all in Jason's mind
we're all
right
in
now.
Jason's mind right
It's
now.
a Fox TV show coming out this fall. Instead of Herman's Head, no one will get that joke. Y'all are way too young.
4 people who listen to the podcast will. So government scientists in charge of this whole Bespin plan for Jason.
I like that.
Thank you. Her name is Rowan, and she's like, I'm totally against you, like, not freezing him. You should freeze him.
And this is all at the quite literally the Crystal Lake Research Facility.
Right.
They went like huge. Like, hey, here's an idea. Let's have a research facility at the place where Jason murders most of the teenagers.
It's like a
That's
weird.
what they say.
It's like a real. I can't talk. Real weird 9/11 memorial.
A very bizarre. That's deep. That's a deep cut.
Thank
It's
you.
kind of dark.
Thank you. Kind of dark. It's kind of a dark movie. So Jason goes all on his army murder spree. She lures him into a cryogenic pod and activates it. Yay! Jason is frozen. Cue the credits. Wait, hold on. Jason's going to slam his machete through the pod and into Rowan, which causes it to leak, and the whole room locks down, and then the whole room just freezes.
Right.
Whole room just freezes. Sleepy time for Jason and Rowan.
And no one shows up for how many years?
Someone forgot to set the alarm clock because it's the year 2455. That's 455 years later, kid.
34.
And whatever. Math is not
maybe
my strong suit. Movies are my strong suit.
Well, we've learned. It's not mine either because 34 is wrong too. Moving on.
And the Earth is pretty much dead thanks to how we treated it. So humanity has moved to Earth 2. Sundays on NBC.
Great show. Great show. I loved that show. Just to point out, when they find Jason, it's a group of Star-Lords, and I'm not making it up. They are dressed exactly like Star-Lord. They walk down the stairs. It happened there first. If you don't believe me, you can watch Jason X for free right now on Sci-Fi Channel. Just go to that scene, and you will see Star-Lord's exact costume ripped off as they walk down the stairs. 100%. That would have been, you know what? Anytime they danced in this movie would have made it 10 times more interesting than what it is.
So humanity's moved to Earth 2, and a college field trip led by Professor Lowe, some other students, and an android named KM-14, all in their Crystal Lake facility where they find Jason and Rowan. They decided it might be nice to thaw them out, so they take them back to their spaceship just to do that.
Right, at which point they discover he has a hockey mask, and they say that hockey is eliminated. Just pay attention. In 2024, so we have 5 years, less than 5 years, and hockey will be gone from the planet. Being too violent.
Poor
No one cares in the South, but somewhere a Yankee is going to be upset.
South is like, what's ice? What's cold?
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Does Alabama have a hockey team?
Saving coaching.
Saving coaching.
I know we have hockey.
I know, but Alabama doesn't have one. The school.
We used to have the
Does the school? University of Alabama has a hockey team?
Club hockey.
Doesn't count. It's not real. I don't count. Club sports aren't real.
No, but our club is. Our club,
Dennis Quaid Club is real. Club sports aren't real. That's science fact.
So they throw out they thaw out Rowan and revive her. Jason, they say, is super dead, and they take him to the morgue where Lowe's intern Adrienne goes to dissect him.
And I know you have a timetable. Can we talk about how bad the ship designs are?
Sure.
One of them is a tennis ball with 2 legs sticking out of it.
Right.
It's the worst designed ship I've ever seen in my entire. It's literally a ball with 2 legs out. And
but it's functional. So you live in the ball, and the legs are like the thruster, so it can land vertically and then take off and go into space.
It's the worst designed ship I've ever seen in my life. Next to Superman Returns, which were extremely phallic. No, Superman, the new one.
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, the most phallic. If you go back and rewatch those,
don't.
Hyper phallic. Like, just, I had a friend that worked on it. He sent me stills. He was like, guess what I'm drawing?
So
and he sent me a picture of it.
He's had a friend who worked on everything.
And I thought he was from Superbad. It's that kind of, yeah.
So Lowe's intern is going to dissect Jason because, Lowe apparently needs money, so he calls some shady dude and tells him he's got some 454-year-old people. But that's not interesting until he mentions Jason. Oh, yeah, that means Jason Voorhees. That guy straight up killed a lot of people and went missing suddenly. Yeah, he's worth a lot of money. I don't know how.
No, well, they collect serial killers. I actually thought that was a cool plot line. Then went nowhere.
Right.
Like, that's kind of an interesting storyline. Like, what if, in the future, when they find artifact people,
right,
they collected them.
Right.
See, now we're starting. This guy thinks it's halfway interesting. It's creepy.
This guy would I have a frozen
so
Charles
it's like, cool.
Manson.
So I have a then you see other maybe in the background.
Oh, Demolition Man. You could have you could really have a Scott Peterson. You could
really
have a thought.
Yeah, I'm all in.
That's a deep cut, y'all. So Jason thaws out and kills Adrienne when he freezes her face in liquid nitrogen and smashes it into a zillion pieces.
She was actually the best actress in the whole movie.
They were like, we can't pay for you.
They're done.
Took her out early. Jason then finds a future surgical instrument that in the shape of a machete.
Yeah, it was a bone saw, just elongated like a machete.
I don't know that was a bone saw. That was
a space machete. Machete.
What you need a machete for.
Yep.
Then he takes it and he starts killing folks on the ship. Lowe has Sergeant Brodsky and his security team try to subdue Jason, and that ends into more deaths and leaving Brodsky seriously injured. He kills 2 guys that are playing their version of holodeck video games.
One of which is the writer.
One of them is the writer who plays Dallas, who we named after the dude from Alien.
Yep.
Tom Skerritt. Lowe orders the ship pilot to dock at a nearby space station, but Jason kills the pilot and the starship crashes into the space station, which apparently was made of paper and gasoline.
And here's another thing. We're in the future where they have technology where nanobots can go in your body, rebuild you, make you stronger, faster, the bionic man, if you will, but they have no brakes. They have no way. Literally, a ship is going to crash into another ship, and there's nothing happens.
Oh, but see, that little ship it's sturdy because it...
I made a note. It's the strongest ship ever made.
Right. Because the space station that it blows up was literally made out of paper and gasoline. They just hit it and then it just explodes.
They hit a glass dome and then everything explodes from that.
Like from behind, like oops.
It's like, hey guys, let's put all the hydrogen in this glass dome just in case. It's a great idea, really. We're in space. No one will hear us scream.
So Jason heads for the lab where all the survivors are, breaks in. Everyone runs except Lowe, who tries to reason with him. But when Jason finds his original machete, he murders Lowe and continues his rampage. A killing, here we go. A killing, here we go.
Now, Scotty's doing...
a Mario, a killing, here we go.
Scotty is doing a fantastic job in putting perspective into the movie because there is none. So you first meet the heroine character who then gets stabbed and frozen and unthawed. We don't talk to her again.
Nope.
We follow Jason a little bit. It just jumps from character to character. So from a filmmaking perspective, it's boring as all get out because you can't really, there's nobody to relate to. There's no character. It'd be like if Harry Potter bounced. I mean, it's fun, right? We follow Harry's perspective and his friends, but if the entire movie jumped from character to character, you actually wouldn't understand the world you're
let's go watch
playing.
Hagrid clip his toenails.
That's what it was like.
Right.
And it's no perspective whatsoever.
So their ship is screwed. The survivors head for an escape shuttle. One student freaks out, has a panic attack, and takes a shuttle on her own, but she doesn't unhook it from the fuel line, and so it explodes. She's dead. KM-14 shows up, our android, with an array of weapons and new combat skills, and she fights Jason and kills him.
There it is. She shows up with a weapon, but not just one. She shows up with guns. Have you guys seen Equilibrium? Has everybody seen? Have you ever seen this movie? Do you remember the gun kata where he's like doing this stuff? She starts doing it ahead of that. She even does the flips. She's doing the stuff where she's shooting behind her back. If you guys haven't seen Equilibrium, it's actually a good movie, but there's a whole sequence where the guy has guns and he does karate with guns. Like he flips. It's a Christian Bale movie, so it's worth watching.
Has an unofficial sequel. Yeah.
Yeah, she also does the
Ultraviolet.
Fembot thing. Exactly right.
Ultraviolet is the spiritual sequel to that.
And it's a terrible movie. One of the worst movies ever made.
She does gun kata in that.
Yeah, gun kata, but it was not invented by that guy. It is now officially invented by these knuckle turds that made Jason X. Which, by the way, at the 57-minute mark, I wrote this down, is Nemesis level bad.
It's almost.
Nemesis is the worst movie ever made. Worse than The Room. This movie at 57 minutes actually stops caring about it being a movie, and it's actually fun. Just start at 57 minutes. Watch the beginning so you see Star-Lord, and then just go to 57 minutes. You'll be fine.
So she fights Jason and kills him, or does she? Nope, she just knocks him into some Borg nanobite technology that turns Jason into a powerful cyborg. Friday of 13th? Resistance is futile?
Yeah.
Or would it be more I am Jacutus of 13?
I would rather. I'd rather be nothing. Nothing. Now that the kid's gone, I'm just going to say it as it is. This movie is a shitty Fifth Element. It's the shittiest Fifth Element ever made.
Oh.
And it's back. Welcome back.
Just in time. Jason easily defeats KM-14 by punching her head off.
That's fact. Also in Equilibrium.
She's a robot. She's technically not alive in the first place.
Well, then they borrowed it for Data in Star Trek later on. No? Too soon?
Her creator picks her head up. It's still functioning. She'll figure out to get her a body later. Jason attacks them, but is stopped by another one of the persons who survivors who sacrifice themselves. They have names, but they're not important. That's what it is.
No one is, because there's no perspective.
But they're going to set the charges off while the others escape. Jason survives, blown back into the shuttle. He punches a hole through the hull, blowing out another survivor. A power failure happens. The docking doors won't open, so Brodsky has to go out and fix it. Meanwhile, there's a holographic simulation of Crystal Lake that tries to distract Jason.
I thought you said Crystal Light for a second. A holographic simulation of Crystal Light. He's like, well, that'll stop me killing a glass of Crystal Light. Pink lemonade. I love it.
It's like I take that drink.
Yeah. Also, I would like to point out another costume moment.
Yes.
Soon to be in the upcoming Rise of Skywalker, because I guess the last one scarred me, is you're gonna, no? Too soon? Is going to be, you're going to see the Sith Troopers. That, the guy, the Brody or whatever his name is, his outfit, his red armor is exactly the Sith Trooper armor. I'm just going to point that out.
I'm pretty sure that's what J.J. Abrams was like. I got an idea.
Guys, Jason X is groundbreaking. Let's take the armor from there.
So meanwhile, a holographic simulation of Crystal Lake is created to distract Jason, along with two virtual teenagers that are used to distract him. It works at first. The
greatest meme of all time is born.
Right.
The sleeping bag meme.
The sleeping bag.
Just look it up. You'll thank me later.
Then that doesn't fool him for long. Brodsky fixes the door, then confronts Jason and the baddest MMA promo ever.
No, it's awful.
They just come up to each other and are going to hug. The ship explodes. The survivors get out to another ship. Jason is propelled from that one ship and is high speed toward the survivors for some reason because magic.
He's quite literally ejected towards them,
right.
Flying through space. Now we know that in space no one can hear you scream.
Right.
But apparently you also can still have like if you're Jason, you can keep moving.
Right.
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 Even though you're cybernetic. I don't know. It doesn't. No one cares at this
ship,
point.
Though, Brodsky goes and saves the day and knocks him, and they end up being burned up in orbit. On Earth, a pair of teenagers are beside a lake, and they see a falling star, and they're going to wish on it, which is Jason.
But why?
And then they find Jason's charred mask in the bottom of a lake. The teenagers go to investigate. Credits.
It's seriously. It's. I mean, I know we're here to talk about bad movies. I've made some bad movies. Nah. Annoying horror?
Annoying orange.
Oh, I don't know annoying orange. Well, this orange is annoying me.
We're going to look it up on YouTube.
I'll make a note right now, sir. Annoying orange.
So here's some trivia for you guys. This is the least censored entry in the Friday the 13th series. they were like, nah, you're good.
No, like no one cared.
No one cared. They're like, man.
Because no one wanted to watch it. Can you imagine the pitch meeting on this?
Right, no.
How did the pitch meeting go to like, guys, we're going to bring back Jason. Oh, we don't have those rights anymore. That's fine?
No. Can I start the pitch meeting for you?
Yes, please.
Oh, my God. We need to do Jason versus Freddy, but the Freddy stuff's taking a while. If
I got an idea.
If we don't do a Jason movie,
One-ups
we're
it.
totally going to
One-ups
lose
it.
his license.
Hear me out here.
I got you.
Ready? Jason in space.
Book sold.
I mean,
Sold.
who
Take my
greenlit
money.
it? Who greenlit it that fast?
Here's my wallet.
Well, guys, there's one and a pin. Guys, we want to let you know that Leprechaun in space failed.
Hellraiser 4
Failed.
Bloodlines.
There was another one in
Critters.
space.
Critters 4.
Critters 4, which Critters makes sense to be in space at some point because
Right.
they're aliens. But whatever, it still failed.
Right.
Why would Jason? Why of all things would Jason get greenlit?
When we get to the part, there's a good movie in here I want to see.
Oh no, I've got one.
I've got. So another trivia is so we all know the first movie, Friday the 13th, Jason's not the killer. Spoiler alert, it's his mom.
Really?
Yeah. I'm sorry to bum
That
you
makes a lot more sense.
That's all right. So the filmmakers reached out to Betsy Palmer, who played the mom, to come do this movie.
Wait, it would have been Betsy Palmer in space?
Yes.
Wait. Hold on. So this was in 2001.
Right.
How old do you believe she was in 85? 80.
80 was... she's up there is what we're saying.
Yeah, this would have been amazing.
Right.
Oh, I want it so bad now.
Oh, you want like Grandma Killings?
Oh, geriatric Space Wars?
That's kind of what we got with Han Solo in Force Awakens.
Oh, no, but the movement would be way slower. And you wouldn't be able to tell because there's no gravity in space. This is brilliant. I'm ready. Pitch me. Let's do it. Make it part of the Marvel universe.
But she was apparently she was in a play and they couldn't work it out, so she didn't do it.
That sounds like the best excuse I've ever heard to get out of something. I'm in a play,
But
something
this is
reasonable.
where I hate to burst your bubble. This is what they were going to put her in. They're going to put her in the virtual 80s simulation, which included a third actress to distract Jason, which originally meant to be more detailed, including a number of topless women playing volleyball. One event included...
Because that's exactly what we need in the world.
It worked for Top Gun,
It's
sort
so
of.
terribly stupid.
One idea included the appearance of Pamela Voorhees, Jason's mother, and even went to so far as they had the Jason attack her. But Betsy turned down the role. They couldn't get an agreement on this. Several of the characters are named after screenwriter Tom Farmer's friends from EverQuest.
Okay, now that's kind of fun.
So online video games could get you in a movie. The original script featured a scene where two space truckers would find the chamber before the students did. Jason would awaken, escape, and have them take Rowan aboard, and then Jason follows them.
Wait. It follows him in the space trucker ship?
Yep.
So Jason learns to fly a spaceship?
Yep.
This is already better. I need geriatrics, and I need Jason driving a spaceship.
David Cronenberg's cameo.
It works?
David Cronenberg's cameo was done as a favor to Jim Isaac for loaning, and he also loaned him his Canadian-based production crew. In exchange, he just wanted to be killed on screen.
Cronenberg is a genius, though.
Jason, how many people did Jason kill this movie?
17?
28.
28?
28.
I guess I stopped caring at 1.
This the most deaths in any Friday 13th movies. Technically, more counting everybody on the space station. There's not a number for that.
So stupid. It's kind of mind-blowing how bad this movie is.
The sleeping bag death scene, which is the greatest meme ever, was first done in the Friday 13th: The New Blood, and was actually ad-libbed by Kane Hodder after he got just mad at all the reshoots they were doing,
I can only imagine.
and just like, I'm picking this up, and man, that's what they kept. So that's our trivia. How would you make this movie better?
All right, here we go.
I want your pitch.
All right, here it is. In all honesty, we're going to stay with... we have to keep Jason in the film
Right.
to some extent.
Yeah.
What are the rules here? It doesn't matter. It's my pitch meeting. I can do what I want. So I'd actually like to start out with Jason does get cryogenically frozen.
Right.
Right? Because they do find out he has regenerative properties.
Makes
He's
sense.
Wolverine.
He is.
It
He has
totally
the
makes
factor.
sense. So he is frozen.
Right.
Right? But
Let
it's
it go,
not,
man.
It's not that he gets frozen at the Crystal Lake Research Facility.
Okay.
He just gets frozen at some generic lab and kind of left there. Right?
Right.
Because I would end up having a massive catastrophic sort of event happen to Earth, and that's how we move past it.
Okay.
Like everybody on there, I don't care about the girl because she served no purpose.
Right.
So wipe her off the script. So when they do find him, they end up they do an archaeological find. They bring him back. They're going through. They find this body frozen, multiple bodies, but they find his frozen. You find out it's a thing to collect these bodies, right? And if they happen to be notorious killers,
Right.
or notorious B.I.G., either way, they get kind of a bump, and
Right.
they're worth more money. So, like in the collecting world, it's a rare Star Wars figure,
Right.
Or rare figure. So they do that. They resuscitate him. Things go horrifically awry, not because he starts killing people, but just because in the process of bringing him back, since Jason does have this seemingly odd sense of luck, if you look at him, he's a very lucky guy.
That's really his power.
I mean, something explodes, he falls into
realistically,
nanos. Like
he deserves it after being like ignored as a child and drowned.
It's exactly where it is.
The payoff.
So the bigger pitch of it is he doesn't even make an appearance killing anyone
Right.
till the very, very end. Meanwhile, it's everyone else killing each other. They're basically fighting each other over their chosen collectible in space. In space.
So can I take that and spin it?
Yeah, please.
So I like the idea of go and find killers. That's your plot.
Right.
That's your core. But you keep Ronan, because what Ronan is your Ripley. They find her, open up. She's the one who goes, these things killed my crew member, and the Marines are there. Just show me where he is. and then they realize it's all out of hand when they get Jason, who will not die.
Unless you could combine the franchises and give me a chestburster Jason. So now you have an alien that regenerates. So it still would have acid blood, but
Right.
regenerative properties. Like, now we're talking about something whole new.
So can I give you my pitch?
Yes, please go
All
ahead.
right, so my pitch is different, because I think there's a nugget of the greatest movie ever made in this thing. Could have ever been made in this movie. And it's at the beginning. So if you notice, if you've seen this film, at the beginning of the movie, Jason is at the Crystal Lake research facility.
Yes.
Which means that he has been captured by the American government.
Right.
There's the American army who wants to take him. He's captured by the American government, right? So he's captured. We learn in the film, Rowan says that they executed him once, and that didn't stick, so that's why they were going to freeze him.
And a firing squad. She
Right.
gives him multiple.
Yeah. So it wasn't more than
Yeah.
So they couldn't execute him. They're going to freeze him, which means there's a trial. I want the
Oh,
capture
dear
and trial of
God.
Jason. Right. Get me John Grissom to write it. It will be awesome.
Can you?
Coppola
No.
directs it to be like the Rainmaker with Jason.
He can't even talk. He just points to cards like, Jason, what are you feeling? Sad.
I would
Jason,
love it.
why did you kill these people? Mad.
They don't have to, he doesn't have to testify.
He has to testify.
No, most killers don't.
No, unless it's a war crime. But it's not a war crime. Maybe it's a war crime. He's killed a lot of people.
The trial of Jason would be awesome.
I know.
I know. So, but I have a caveat to
That's what I was about to say.
So-
I mean, you might as well go for it. It was relevant at the time.
It was relative at the time. Here's the thing, though. Freddy vs. Jason went through a lot of scripts, ton of scripts, including written by two of the guys who were behind Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And what they wrote
was it Ron Moore?
It was Ron Moore and Ira Bear.
Wow.
And they wrote their treatment on it was literally the trial of Jason, and Freddy was involved because this was right.
No,
after
I remember that. I remember hearing about this.
It was during the OJ thing.
No, but the idea was that Jason went through this entire process,
Right.
and it was smart because it was like, do you guys remember any TV show you've ever watched? There's always the montage episode where they do the flashbacks. It's just cheap production, right? It's just all made in post. It was that kind of concept. They could take the best kills from various Jason films and relive them on the screen as sort of thing. Not a bad concept. It's just, you know what?
I could make this work.
If anybody can, it's you, sir.
Right, I could make this. I want to see the trial, and I wanted to see them try to execute, and they're like, "Nah, let's just freeze him."
Now, I would take Jason versus Darkman.
Yes,
as runner-up.
I would. Jason versus Darkman would be awesome.
But I think what we all really want to see is Jason versus Kurt. I can't even say it. I just basically want to see Jason versus Gymkhana. Just the whole movie of Gymkhana. Not Kurt Thomas, just the entire Gymkhana crowd.
So what do you think the budget for this movie was?
$13 million.
11. Good, close.
Yep.
How did it do? Opening weekend.
I think it's a bomb, if I'm not mistaken. I think it did pretty poorly.
6.6.
Oh, half its budget. It's not bad.
Worldwide was 17 million.
So it was profitable.
It opened number 3.
Oh, see, this is where I have no idea. What year is this? 2001?
2001.
Gross Point Blank.
No.
Damn it.
I'm surprised you didn't go with Back to the Future. You always go with Back to the Future.
I know the Back to the Future was in 1978.
No one correct him.
I felt like I sounded like Big Tasty right there. Let's go ahead.
Number 1 was The Scorpion King.
Oh,
Number
boy. Oh. If you could see the grimaces on the live audience faces, you'd probably want to watch Jason X instead of the Scorpion King.
Number 2 was Changing Lanes.
The one with Ben Affleck?
Yep.
That gets in like an angry car fight?
Yep.
Nemesis is better than that.
Oh, I don't know.
It's pretty bad.
I don't know.
Changing Lanes, it's awful.
Number 3 was Jason X. Number 4 was Murder by Numbers. And then number 5 was Life or something like it.
I don't even. What is Murder by Numbers?
I don't know.
Isn't that a TV show?
I think it what?
No. I think there's a Murder by something.
It's a song
No?
by Sting. Murder by Numbers. 1, 2, 3.
Jason kind of murders by numbers, wouldn't you say?
He kind of murders
No?
numbers. This year also brought us Panic Room. So Fincher.
Yep, but he hated that movie.
And well, so did I. And
Fair enough.
it's not good.
They fired the DP. So Panic Room's fascinating study from somebody from a films. They went through like 3 or 4 different DPs.
Right.
So the cinematographers kept getting dropped, and you could actually see the tone of the film change each time. It's because David Fincher is crazy.
Yes.
Purposely doing things like, let's say there's a 2-shot on us.
Yeah.
He would reverse the side of that poster. Like see the guy's eyes on the camera left side, camera right side. He wanted it on the left side, so they would then rotoscope us out just to reverse the poster instead of just being like, here, just flip the poster. Like he's crazy.
What's money? He's supposed to spend money.
Yeah.
Also brought us Blade 2.
Blade 2 is my favorite Blade.
Yeah, well, it's the Toro's, right?
Oh, you know what?
It's
I
Del Toro's.
like Blade 2. I like Blade 3 better.
Because
it's
with Ryan
I like
Reynolds?
Blade 3 because it's got Triple H in it, and I'm
Ryan
a weird
Reynolds,
wrestling fan. I'm a mark. It is the beginning of Deadpool. That is fact.
So this movie literally exists because of Friday the 13th. Because
They couldn't even use the music. I don't know if you noticed. The music was barely in it. They would just do a little tease of a thing.
Yeah, because here's what's up with that. So New Line, this is New Line. This New Line Cinema made this movie,
Right.
And they got the rights from Universal, I believe. It's Universal had it.
It's Universal or
no,
Fox.
Paramount.
You're right.
Had it. Paramount had it. But the way it was like, all right, you get the rights to Jason. We're gonna keep Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
And
we're gonna give you this character on loan out.
Basically.
Yeah.
And you can make Jason movies, but you can't call them Friday the 13th.
Well, they did it with James Bond.
Right. And so that's why we have Jason Goes to Hell, which is worse than this one. Jason Goes to Hell has the better opening.
Oh, it's actually a good opening. Jason Goes to Hell.
Like the best opening ever. Has anyone seen Jason Goes to Hell? So
this audience loves Jason movies, y'all. You could see the smiles on their faces right now.
They've all seen it, but for those at home,
that is no surprise. Justine is here.
Justine's in the audience, and she's not seen.
Have you ever seen a Friday the 13th? All right, let's just real quick. What do you think Friday the 13th is about?
Come here, Justina. Everyone, this is Justina. She's our Jellicle Jester from the Cult Movie Cantina. She's our other co-host. She's also she who's not seen movies.
Okay. Well, I know a little bit. Like, he's the one with the mask, and he plays hockey, right? Right?
That's a beginning.
This is how we get started, guys. Okay.
So he's a hockey player.
Obviously. Clearly. So I want to say that, okay, so Michael is one we just learned about with Halloween, right?
We just saw Halloween 4.
So Friday the 13th is like what he does on Halloween, except only on the 13th, and he has a hockey stick that he has made a shiv out of. Okay.
That's right. You're actually creepily you're spot on.
So
his real name is Casey Jones.
100% I haven't. So he's walking around like playing hockey, but then he's like, yeah, and stabs people.
Friday the 13th.
But in the streets. Like he plays street hockey.
Because he's from the streets?
13th on Fridays. Yeah.
Only on Friday the 13th.
Yes. He's like, it's my street hockey killing day.
If you guys have never...
No. Street hockey and killing day is our next shirt.
Yep. The only problem is, like, the more violent and weird they get, the more I'm like, can I wear this in public?
So let me real quick describe the opening of Friday 13th Part 9, Jason Goes to Hell.
Part 9?
Yeah,
There's 13.
Did they do that on purpose, or was that accidental?
There's more than that, but
12. Count the remake. I don't think they got to 13, though.
Yeah, I think there's 13.
The remake counts as 13?
I thought there was 13.
No, because it's 10. There's 10, then there's Jason X, and then there's the remake.
Oh, you're right.
Not Jason. Yeah, there's Jason X, Freddy vs. Jason, then the remake. And now it's all up in legal stuff. We're not getting Jason stuff for a while.
But you do know that the second one was filmed here.
7th one.
Whatever, close enough. It's the same movie.
No. The 7th one is when Jason fights Jean Grey. So it's Jason versus a telepath. With
Yeah, but that was
telekinetic power.
filmed here. That was filmed in Mobile.
Yeah, when it was
Or
filmed
in Baldwin
Baldwin
County.
So where I'm living.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, opening. Describe.
All right, so opens with a young camp counselor lady in a shower, and then she hears wrong. She hears noises, and then she sees something. It's Jason chasing her, and she runs through the woods. Jason chases her through the woods, and she trips and falls because that's what they always do. But it's in this big opening, and as Jason comes to kill her, all these floodlights show up, and like the ATF, the FBI, the Army, everybody with large guns just unload on him and just blow Jason to a million pieces. That's the opening of the movie. They killed Jason like hard. There's just, Friday the 13th. Oh, Jason Goes to Hell, number 9. Okay. So, right.
No, in this one, he's back together again with himself.
In space.
Not yet. He hasn't been launched to space yet. He is Wolverine.
He is Wolverine / Deadpool.
He regenerates like Michael does. We talked about that.
Yeah,
Every day.
yeah, Michael does. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
that's the thing about horror film
But
heavies.
but Michael, they just left it. They said we don't care. They just let it be, except for arguably maybe something in Halloween 3. In this movie specifically is the first time they've said, hey, we're going to give science behind why Jason lives. And they gave the regeneration clause.
Right, which makes sense to me. I mean, technically not.
No,
because
why didn't you do it in like 2,
because
3,
they didn't
4?
Well, okay,
7.
all right. 2, 3, 4, he is alive. He's wounded, and he's slowly heals. I get you on that. 5 is a different guy.
Yeah.
6, he's a zombie.
Like he tagged out.
Oh, that's true.
6, Tommy opens up the casket and sticks a rod in him because they're going to set him on fire, and lightning hits the rod and makes him a Frankenstein. So Jason's undead from 6 and 7. He's undead.
Right.
And then, right.
It's so stupid.
And then Jason
They're
X.
the dumbest horror movies ever made.
Jason
The
X
first
and
one is actually a very well-made film.
I made a face. Sorry.
For what it was, it was. Look, it's on par with the original Romero's Night of the Living Dead to me.
Yeah, this is my skeptical sound.
I'm just saying, it's the same quality level. It was a decent idea.
Without
It's a ripoff of Psycho.
Without the social commentary.
Yeah, it is.
Psycho
I get backwards. I can argue some of the social commentary.
Okay.
We won't do that today.
Don't
That's
have
different time.
premarital sex. Watch special children in the pool. there's all these lessons you can learn Friday the 13th. Mamas love their babies. I mean, there's a lot.
Moms love their kids. That's it.
Mamas love their babies. That's what it's all about. That's what I like. Thank you so much for guesting.
You're welcome.
So where can we find you?
Your coattails.
Really? I do have a coat with me today.
Yep. Look on the tails.
All right, there you are. Well, thank you for just impromptu coming in on the show.
Sure. Anytime, Scotty.
Oh, thank you. Did everyone get a ticket? Who joined us? You're not eligible.
You're not.
You are not eligible.
Doesn't matter.
She's not eligible either. Did anyone here not get a ticket who's with us?
Everybody got a ticket?
Hey, I should have just let you stay. You want to draw the ticket? I'll make you come back. You want to draw the ticket? Since you can't pick it? You can follow us on at mobcast.com if you like the show. Our table's over there. We got free stuff. We do the Cult Movie Cantina every Thursday. This is every other Tuesday. We do deep cut movies. Cult Movie does a little bit more. They're cultish, but they're a little bit more mainstream. You can read that number.
5045.
How is that possible?
That's you? That's him.
All right.
Woo.
Well,
you
there's
win
some-
that. Everyone, this
Smartest kid in the room. See?
So I hope you guys
Honesty
did you have a
always
good time? Give me a shout. Woo! Proof that everyone's alive.
You should literally put Pennywise in. Pennywise.
Oh, Pennywise versus Jason.
I'd watch it.
I'd watch it.
I would watch it. I would watch it so much.
Chucky versus Jason?
Okay.
Only if he bursts out of his chest like a chest burster
All right,
from
come
Aliens.
here for a sec. What's your name?
Victoria.
Hi, Victoria. So you're pitching to us Chucky versus Jason.
Yes.
How would you make this movie? What's your story?
If you do it, you got to go.
Okay, so Chucky, right? It's gonna happen like after all this weird new remake and all this kind of stuff.
Sure.
They
We're very
totally
modern.
changed up the storyline.
I got you.
So
You want classic Chucky, right?
sure, yeah.
All right, well, classic Chucky. So all right. Possession Chucky, yeah.
Yes. I say that one of the kids that's at the camp
Right?
had brought
Oh.
a good guy doll. Had brought a good guy doll to the camp.
Oh, I'm in.
And it gets possessed like Chucky did, or the ghost of Chucky just possesses this doll instead of his old doll.
Oh, yeah.
And he's running around pissed off, and then all of a sudden,
As Chucky's do. I'm mad I'm short.
he just so happens to be.
I don't think that's why he's
out,
mad, but-
Out at the lake looking for people to kill, and he comes across Jason, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna try to kill this guy. And
Can I throw one scene in? Just one scene? Because all of these movies have to follow a certain level of misappropriation of women. So I think they should get to a spot where there's randomly two women playing volleyball topless, because that's apparently what happens in all these movies. And they're about to fight over them. And then the girls, like, just one scene where the women just kind of knock them both down and get away, like,
Right.
just cleanly, just gone. And we never see those characters again. Those ladies go off and have wonderful lives and do great things. But I just want one scene where they stop and they're about to kill the women, and the pause for them is that they're fighting over who's going to kill the women, and that's when the women take advantage of the situation.
take Chucky by his feet and use him to smack Jason.
Oh, goldmine, 100%.
So
goldmine.
But your credits, you roll your credits at the end of that movie, and the credits are them just like years later having dinner and go, remember that time we were playing volleyball? And then they just relieve the scene. Oh yeah, and they're drinking. They got kids, and everything is wonderful. No one ends movies that way.
No, but that's how it should end. Let's fix the system.
We can just take like the scene from John Hancock, and she takes Chucky and just.
Oh,
Done.
done.
Love it. All in.
If we had the money and the budget and the rights.
Maybe that's what I want to do for myself now, is just like fix movies.
I think that Chucky's motivation should be that he's trying to possess Jason's body, since that's his whole thing, is trying to find a new body.
Oh, that's
All right,
actually great.
And
there we
technically,
go.
Jason's a kid,
Right.
so that would work.
And then the poster, there's one scene in the movie where Jason has to carry Chucky, and that's where our
Like on
poster
his
frame
back, like
comes from.
Yoda. I would watch that. Look at his face.
If
in the
we
front.
did it, if you baby Bjorned him, if you Bjorned,
If
I
there's
will
any
make that
artists living
happen.
out listening to the show, someone needs to draw that. That needs to be a shirt.
That's a shirt. Done. Can we please have that shirt?
I will work on it. I also would like to see the poster being Jason, like with a machete, but dressed in the good guy overall.
Oh, that'd be good too.
Just like a full-grown man dressed like a Chucky.
I was
with a
trying to
hockey
work out a
mask.
gag because he disappeared and reappeared so much. Like in the movies, Jason is
Right.
notorious for like they've run away and then he's in front of them somehow.
Right.
Like he's Houdini.
Right.
But I kept just in my head trying to figure out how to make Jason a Jawa, so it was like Houdini, and it's Jason dressed as a.
Has anyone played the Friday 13th video game? Yeah, I like the little kids played it. It's awesome. You've not played it, right?
No.
So it's. Yeah, the new. I'm not talking about
Oh, the NES one's terrible.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the NES one. I'm talking about the new one. All right, so the new one is basically the best game of hide and go seek you'll ever play without having to play hide and go seek.
Is it multiplayer? Like online?
Yeah, it's you can do it online.
That's
or
brilliant.
And so you can play Jason, and he goes and kills camp counselors and goes looking for them. Or you can play camp counselors hiding from Jason as you look for pieces to start your car.
That's great.
And
That's
so-
a great
right.
idea.
But Jason has powers. And one of those is ability just to pop up behind a guy and to strap up jack him. It's great.
Oh my god, that's brilliant.
It's very cathartic. I've enjoyed playing both sides of it. So I got, if you got Xbox Live and I guess PS4, whatever their version of Live is, you can get it for free this month. So I've enjoyed the hell
on Xbox Live.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And so that's what I've got. I've enjoyed it.
We
So
have Last of Us for free on PlayStation.
And you can also do. You also can get the skin that makes him the purple in the NES
Oh,
version,
brilliant.
So you can be the NES.
The craptastic one from NES.
The fun part is that there's a list of Jasons that you can play, and like most games, you can unlock other Jasons. But one of the ones that we start out with is the one from 5. So I've been going around killing people as not Jason.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's great.
It's like, I'm not Jason. I'm here to kill you.
Hi, I'm not Jason
I'm
Voorhees.
very nice. Jam.
This is my and then you cut to, this is my brother Jason, my other brother Jason. Nope,
And,
no Bob Newhart fans.
Newhart fans.
That joke one day will pay off somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely right.
All St. Elsewhere. It all goes back to St. Elsewhere. I hope you guys had a great time. Thank you again for your pitch.
Victoria,
I'm all
brilliant.
into
Well
Jason
done.
versus Chucky. I think that's great. You can follow us at the Mobcast Network. You can see our table. We've got cool stuff there.
Get a Dennis Quaid button.
Get a Dennis Quaid button, yes. I'm your Native American pop culture spirit guide, Scotty, and I'm always joined by my co-host.
Co-host,
And
Drew.
this is Scotty saying, this is our contribution to the multiverse. Go out and make yours! Yakmalo!
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 Thank you for listening to the Mobcast Network.